Right, YouTube Nana, who wants to remain, keep your identity a secret and just refer to yourself as Nana. Yes, who says that you have to murder one of these trees and suck out its blood and make a piece of paper and then fashion it into a bag and then pick up these boy-girl tree vaginas off of the ground and put them in the paper bag and then shake the paper bag, and that's how you get the seeds out of it, says Nana. Yeah, so it's like the mighty bush. It's fucking Nanageddon. It's Nanageddon. Yeah, you see, Vince borrowed Nebuchadnezzar's black magic book to, impress some sexy goths, and they call them girls, but, you don't know whether they're girls or boys. We don't know. They might have penises for all we know. And, as far as that goes, we don't really care because, we don't, if Noel Fielding had a penis, a vagina, or elbow titties, we wouldn't care because they're sexy. We just think Noel Fielding is fabulous. So we're up here inside, Fielding's Knoll. Yeah, we call this place Fielding's Knoll because it's like old Greg's vagina or mangina, and it's there are hardly any trees outside of old Greg's mangina. They've raped them all and murdered them, and so it's like we're not trying to be mean to Nana. He's not trying to be mean to Nana or to not acknowledge their super sexy abilities, such as throwing a bus past like a ninja star and severing an asshole's carotid artery. We think that's fabulous, but that doesn't mean we're going to be submissive to Nana either and do exactly what they say. Yeah, because even though they don't actually use the words and say that, their prescription for removing seeds from these boy-girl tree vaginas that fall on the ground is as we described. And so we say, don't tell us what to do, Nana. And so Mooney is utilizing different techniques to extract the seeds from these vaginas and to grow some more of these boy-girl trees. So we find Stumpy here. Somebody murdered one of these trees, cut it down. And so we got Stumpy, and we gathered up some boy-girl tree vaginas, and we cleaned the way around the Stumpy. We just use our tool and just kind of scrape and pull this stuff away a little bit away from the stumps, and then see there's been a forest fire up in here. So there's all this nice carbon-rich material on the stump, and so you can just kind of scrape that off of there. Scrapes it, just gives us a little scrapes, and then that way it'll mix in with the dirt and enrich it. It'll help to enrich the soil around this area here. Just scrapes it off of there. Just gives it little scrapes. And that material will help to enhance the soil. We'll finish the rest of it once we're done with the video. So then we put our boy-girl tree vagina. We've tried many different ways of extracting seeds from these, but this seems to be the quickest. And we take their bar, and we just rip these vaginas apart. Which, when we get our rock hammer, it'll be a lot simpler because, see, otherwise we could use this, but then they get stuck in that nail puller thingy. They get stuck in there. So there's one ripped apart. Do we got any seeds? Yep, got the seed right there. See the seeds? Right there's and right there's. There's another one. Yeah, and then you just kind of give old Stumpy a blowjob and brush him off. Just jerk. Just grab a hold of old Stumpy and Yankee Doodle Dandy. You just yank him and give him a blowjob. and the seeds will blow off of there and into your carbon-enriched soil. They cleared away around the stump to allow these little boy-girl trees to try to grow. And then, the next time you visit the park, then you can see, what your progress is, if any boy-girl trees have grown and how big they've gotten. And if they're big enough to move, then you can trans them. Yeah, you just trans them to another location and digs a little hole and gives them a place. So they've got the home. It's Nanageddon. You gotta see that episode of The Mighty Boosh. It's Nanageddon. It's Nanageddon. They summon Nanitou. Yes, but it's not all terrible, It's not all terrible because, while the goth girls are not, or goth girls, guy girls, whatever they are, while they're not terribly impressed with the ability to use Nebuchadnezzar's Book of Black Magic to summon a granny, a Nana, they're not impressed with that, but, at least something nice come out of it, because, it's like, who did we have last week? Oh, it was Hitler. Yes, you never know what you're going to get. They had Hitler last week, and, Howard Moon does a shit on him. Yes, Minnie has to tell you about the Mighty Boosh, because we're introduced to these characters in this show in a relationship that this United States Donkey Congress government denies ever happens with a lie on a piece of paper. So Mooney's worried. Mooney's afraid that if we don't tell other peoples about the Mighty Boosh, that they might vanish from existence, like Marty McFly's siblings in Back to the Future. They might vanish. Yeah, they might disappear. Because some say that the only thing that actually happens is written on a piece of paper. That there isn't anything that happens unless it's written on a piece of paper. But now, they also wipe their asses on paper, and now they're also using paper to say that things that do happen didn't happen. So many see there's seeds in there. You can see them. Many has tried to pick them out with tweezers, and it takes a long time to. And these zats. See these thingies that look like the guns, the particle projection weapons on in Stargate SG-1. They call them Zats or something. They look like that, and they're bastards to try to. They're very tough, and they got this little prick on them, this little point that likes to poke. Yes, it likes to be mean and bite you. It's mean. There's one with the rabbit ear still on it. And so Minnie's out here doing this because their Donkey Congress, their King Congress, and their Hong Congress are all in agreement that we never had this relationship, and 7 of our years that they measure with what they measure as years never happened, while the rest of the zombies, and yet the ones subscribed to Mark Zuckerberg and who go to church and say that it's okay that they discriminated against us and denied us labor and housing and other things, because not only do they have Jabez to forgive them, but they're also just simply following the orders of whoever pays Mark the most money while they're subbed. Yeah, while there's we can't escape them. They say we're not allowed to be on Facebook or anything like that. They kick us off. because we have the nerve to ask for our ring back from a brain eater. Yeah, from somebody who tells us after the elapsed time of what they measure as 7 years, tells us that they ritually kill a teenage girl and eat their brains. And so they runs away and goes to Florida. And then he gets on Facebook and asks for her ring back. Hey, little wizard. There's a little wizard. Look. See the baby wizard? It's a wizard. It's a wizard. It's a baby wizard. Little baby wizard. Hey, wizard. Hey, wizard. Yeah, they asked for the ring back. It's like, well, if it doesn't mean anything to you, can we have the ring back? And they kick us off of Facebook. Yeah, so Mooney starts to see that they're using Facebook to cause all these subscribers to be like submissive zombies. That because of their act of subscription, regardless of whether or not you have a church or belief system to go to that forgives you for such and excuses your behavior, they're using Facebook and these other similar platforms to effect control over the subscribers. Like through the act of this subscription, through the physical act of making this a surrender to the platform, through the subscription mechanism, that the advertisers and they who operate the platform therefore can effectively control the host, the subscriber, as they take up, as their subscription allows them to take up the entity to take up sort of physical presence within their flesh through the act of the surrender or the subscription. And so they're using these platforms for genocide. Yeah, they're murdering entire groups of people. And a lot of it is based on racist stuff, such as mulatto peoples who aren't exactly white or aren't exactly black. But it's not just them. It's not only them. They're doing it to, whoever has the money. Whoever got the most money from raping a baby on a playground when we're 3 years old, they're trying to hush all this up and say, oh no, you're not supposed to talk about that, tranny. And we're saying, no, we have the need to be completely open and out and honest about all this shit as far as we're able to perceive and comprehend it. While they would demand that we understand them. Stand under them. Like they point at you and say, you understand me, boy? You do what the fuck you're told, boy. You understand? Shit like that. Yeah, Mooney knows who they are. We've interacted with them, and we're trying to escape them, but they're using all these different mechanisms to try to keep their secrets and what they do. And the people of the state of Vermont can't even sue. Last we heard, are being denied suing Facebook and Meta because they have attorneys that say Facebook and Meta doesn't have any physical presence within the boundaries of what you define as the state of Vermont. And that's a lie. Yeah, it's a lie because they're physical, even though they might not have anything such as a business office there, they do have a physical presence within the hosts of their subscribers, as their voluntary surrender and their act of subscription causes them to be more susceptible to electronic manipulation from their devices. An interface of a device that is connected to a network through which they then subliminally and otherwise influence the subscriber to do things such as discriminate in labor and housing and other things, and also influence them to vote. So eat that.